Everyone, it is a Monday here at Central Station for the Ashes Rubies podcast. Welcome. For those that are on the Facebook and the YouTube, you can actually see us. For those that listen to the do you call that a verbal podcast? Or the wherever you get this. I had a friend come over the other day, and she was super excited to see the studio, the podcast studio. And then I was like, "Well, you're actually in it right now." And she's like, "Oh yeah, it's just a plain room that we live in." I woke up today with what I've come to know as buyer's remorse.
Okay.
Did you know what that is?
Well, yeah, it's when you regret buying something.
When you regret buying something. So most people don't care at the store. No, I guess most people do care. That's why you have returns. I think Costco is the favorite place to return. You could just buy stuff and return it 2 years later.
As long as you've only eaten half of it.
Is this a confession?
No way. I just found that
Really?
out. Yeah.
Like, what if it's a hot dog for 50 cents? You can return it? Okay. I don't know. I got silly. I'm sorry. Carry on.
No, I just found that out one time because I had bought a package of like multiple lip glosses, and one of them I used, and then when I opened the second one, it was cracked right off. Like half of it was completely broken. And so then I was like, guys, I feel really awkward returning this. And they're like, well, no, as long as you've only
eaten half of it.
Yeah, as long as half of it's remaining, you can return them. I was like, oh, well, good thing I opened this one second.
Good morning, Shannon.
Anyway.
Well, I feel like I've done that. I bought a shirt online, and they said that because it's too big, we don't deal with buyer's remorse. I was like mildly offended. Because online doesn't have change rooms.
That's the risk of online shopping.
It's true. So
not everywhere. You can't return everywhere.
So we bought our first bed together ever in 30 years. And it's a magnificent crafted piece of machinery, I guess you would call it.
I don't feel like it's machinery, but
what's a bed?
A structure.
A structure? Furniture.
Sure.
Would it be furniture? And I feel like I went firm. Like, that's my deal.
You went firm.
You
did go firm.
It went firm, cooling gel, all that kind of thing. The hybrid between the coil. Yeah. So I feel that I have buyer's remorse. Mm-hmm. And so I feel it's too firm, and it's hurting me. It's causing me pain in my old age. And it says we have 100 days to take it back.
Is it appropriate that I am not don't want to participate in that process?
I think that's perfectly fine. So in my mind, this is what I'm dealing with. That it's actually not a big deal, that we could live on that mattress for the next 20 years and it would be fine. But then in my other mind, so in this side of my mind, in that too, it doesn't matter. Like, what's the big deal? And this side of my mind, it's like, we paid this amount of money. They give you the 100 days for a reason. And it's like, why don't we, if we're not perfectly, yeah, I know. I feel like Goldilocks, the little princess, but at the same time, if you're going to invest in something and have it for that long, then you should be able to do what
I'm not saying it doesn't matter.
Happy Monday morning.
I'm not strongly opinionated about it, and
I don't do that in restaurants.
I don't want to.
Unless it's like super offensive what they've done. So like, no, like if I get a medium, if I get a rare steak and it comes medium, I'm mildly offended because like if you're cooking a steak, you should know. And eggs,
why don't you send it back?
I've worked in kitchens long enough to know that it's not worth sending it back because you could have some. Like, I don't want to have buyer's remorse at a kitchen, really. Like, unless I'm super offended and it's wrong.
You've worked in kitchens, and so why don't you send stuff back?
I'm just going to leave that there. That there are people on the other end that are just as offended. And they're probably more offended to begin with. And
the people in the kitchen, you mean?
Yeah. They might be having a bad day. So could I eat my medium rare steak medium? Sure. I've done that. I would rather not go through that
but
hassle.
What if you sent it back and then you get a medium steak? Wouldn't you be happier?
No, a rare steak?
Yeah, a rare steak. Wouldn't you be happier?
Not necessarily.
Why?
Because the pain and then the whole timing of the dinner thrown off, that's a 20-minute process or whatever. So like if I got hard eggs, I would be offended and I would take them back. I would say, I can't. I do not like this egg.
Okay.
I would not eat it in a boat. I would not eat it around a moat. I would not eat it, Sam.
But you would send it back.
I would send hard eggs back. Yeah.
So it's not true that the kitchen staff do bad things to your food if you send it back?
I think the morning staff is different. I don't know. I'm just unpacking this right now. So maybe.
Because that's what I heard.
Like the morning people, it's eggs. It's like if you did eggs wrong, I think everybody could admit it. But people will, I think in the later evening crowd would.
Are you more generous to the morning staff because you never worked a morning shift in the kitchen?
I didn't. Maybe. I feel like they're happier. They've had coffee.
Okay.
Wow.
Moving along.
Buyer's remorse. I don't know if you've ever had the buyer's remorse.
Can I tell you about and this is perhaps slightly unethical.
Megan.
However, I didn't really feel that it was. I have no problem returning things.
Yeah, you're great at it.
I don't usually return a meal like that's, and like, can usually would kill me because it has peanuts, but with stuff like, yeah, I'll return things, no problem. Sears had a thing where like if your child wore through the clothes before they grew out of the clothes, they would exchange them for you. That was their policy. So if my boy got holes in his knees before he grew out of the pants,
he used that till he was 14.
Then they would exchange them, and I would exchange them. I would always exchange
Oshkosh
them.
bagosh.
And I would exchange them.
Is this starting to be a confession?
I would exchange them one more time. Like, even if they didn't quite fit him yet, because he had a younger brother.
Oh my goodness. I think this is illegal activity that we're talking about. But I wouldn't
exchange them I wouldn't exchange them again.
No, we all
once they went to the younger brother.
We all understand what you're doing.
No. But once they went to
the literally called thieving.
No,
you're confessing on national TV. We should shut this down. There's going to be people knocking at our door.
No, but they know that there's a certain time frame. Like, they're not going to exchange them.
How do you make amends
next year? They'll only exchange them this year, this school year.
This is the worst thing that I had to return.
Or the school year after.
Here's the worst thing.
Is that bad?
I bought a pillow.
Yeah. I wish I knew that. See, you would have done it too.
Oshkosh bagosh exchange. Okay, this is the worst thing that just happened.
Sears closed down.
That I went to the Bay. You closed it down. I caused
Sears to close down.
And Zellers. Is there Zellers still?
No.
Target
Oshkosh.
Probably.
Tell your Oshkosh story.
No. I bought a pillow. I bought a crazy expensive pillow. Oh. So I tried out all the pillows in the store. This one particular pillow left my handprint because it was like cooling gel. And I'm like, of course I want my head 5 degrees cooler than everything. So I bought this pillow and it says, don't take off the tag. You said don't take off the tag, but it's a crunchy tag. Like, it's like crunchy and it was in my pillow. So I cut it off. I slept on it and it almost killed me. It held my heat of my head in an unholy way. And it was like the worst thing. So I went to the Bay and I was going to return it, but I had so much anxiety because I cut off the tag. And I'm like, I'm not going to lie. This will prove where I'm at in my recovery, that I'm not going to lie about the tag. So I took it. I grabbed another pillow. I took this pillow back. We're not talking a $10 pillow.
It tried to kill you.
It tried to kill me. And I'm just wondering if I can make an exchange. They made the exchange and it was all good. I came home and I bought a beautiful, like the pillow that I have. I've never had anything like it.
Okay, we have 1 minute to do our reading and give everyone a meditation. Ew. We have
what's happening?
We have a new follower.
All right.
Hello.
We're not going to show our feet.
Okay.
But we will show that we've done some sketchy things in the return app. All right. October the 20th. Thank you for doing meditation. We're going to take a concept out of this reading and take it throughout the day. People often marvel when they see the 12-step program bringing about changes in the lives of those who practice it. This is its secret. that is built on the fundamental ethical philosophy which has been known throughout the ages. It is stated in such widely different books as the Bible and the fables of Aesop. To deal gently with our fellow man is suggested in Galatians. The fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, gentleness, ... The last one is self-control. Let's not mention. The same thought appears in the fable of the wind and the sun, who challenged one another as to which could first remove the cloak of a passing traveler. As the wind blew hard and cold, the man wrapped the cloak tightly around him. Then the sun shone, and its warmth made the man take off his cloak. Today's reminder. In the 12-step process and the recovery process, this same thought is repeated in many ways that point out that we can do nothing by force or compulsion. I will remind myself not to be too determined in my judgment and actions. Here's our quote: kindness is the mightiest force in the world. I like that picture of the sun actually removing the cloak and not me trying to remove it. I think that this speaks to me about practice makes progress. And so practicing being with God, being a child of God, practicing prayer and meditation in the morning, practicing going to meetings, sharing, being a part of a community, practicing makes my journey of progression. And then all of a sudden the cloak comes flying off and I go return it at Costco. What's it saying to you?
Yeah, I think we have to practice. I think that I want to self-protect, which is what the idea of like the wind blowing hard and cold and the man wrapped the cloak tightly around him. That's my self-protection. And then the sun shone and its warmth made the man take off his cloak. And so I just need to keep showing up and keep coming back and be around people that are on the same journey. And God shines his warmth on me.
I like that it's a journey with really no end. And it's not about getting, because we have that saying, it's a saying, practice makes perfect. But I think this is like practice makes progress in the relationship that I have with God. And Shannon says, yes, we are fearfully and wonderfully made. Yes, we are. God knows what he is doing. That is true. We leave you with that. Are you practicing to be on a journey of progression, or are you trying to get it perfect? Let's leave the results to God, and we'll leave that there today. That's all we have. Go return something today. Buyer's remorse. All right. Have a great afternoon, and we will see you tomorrow.